So you want to get 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers so you can monetize your YouTube channel, and you have to do it within 12 months to qualify. No problem, at least not after this video. Today, I'm going to give you 6 simple steps, and this is real actionable advice on how to get 4,000 hours of watch time so you can monetize your YouTube channel. I have a great sponsor for today's video, EPIDEMIC Sound, but more on that later. So step number 1 is probably the easiest part of this process, and that's going to be breaking this down into a very reasonable goal. So we actually have a system for getting 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. By setting a 12-month goal of getting 100,000 views on your videos, we can actually make everything else more manageable, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we do that. In a previous video about getting your first 1,000 subscribers, I introduced a lot of creators to the 1% rule. The short version is that 1% of our total views usually translates to how many subscribers we end up getting, at least in the initial stages of our YouTube career, 0 to 10,000 subscribers. This won't prove true for 100% of content creators. Your results may vary, but this is about as close to average and what is normal as it gets. Okay, so that helps us with subscribers. What about watch time though? Well, 4,000 hours of watch time, when you break it down into minutes, which is actually really important, is 240,000 minutes of watch time. When you know that you have 100,000 views as your goal, then that can tell you what average view duration you actually need. In this case, a safe average for us is going to be at least 3 minutes of average view duration. So now that we have that as a reasonable goal, we can actually start to make a content strategy for our videos, knowing that we want to get 100,000 views in the course of 12 months. So we can start to think about how many videos we might need to upload. We know that's going to help us get our subscribers, and we know how those videos need to perform. They need an average view duration of at least 3 minutes. So that takes us to step number 2, our content strategy. And so our content strategy for this is going to be, wait for it, no random videos. Yeah, I said it. If you want to do YouTube full time, or if you want to start making money on YouTube, you have to start treating it like a career and treating it with that same level of respect. And what that means is no random videos. Now, if you're just doing this for fun, then maybe you don't worry about getting monetized or whether you meet those requirements, and you can just make whatever you want. I have no issue with that. But if you're saying you want to make money, then we have to take it seriously. And the reason we're not doing random videos is because we have to make a plan here. If we want an average view duration of at least 3 minutes, then it's going to be very hard to do if you're making 5-minute or 6-minute videos, because the average view percentage for most YouTubers is not going to be people watching the video 50% of the way through or 60% of the way through. People like Mr. Beast work very hard to get a 55 or 65% average view percentage. That is what high performing YouTubers get. For most content creators, it's usually closer to around 30%. Again, this is going to help you realize what's normal and what okay looks like. So it's about 30-35%. If you know that, then it means that in order to get those 3 minutes of watch time, your videos are probably going to need to be somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes, which is actually also going to help you, because now with the 4,000 hours of watch time, once you are monetized, people can now add mid-rolls to their YouTube videos and post-rolls as long as the videos are over 8 minutes in length. It used to require it to be 10 minutes. So just making those longer videos is going to help you in the long run anyway. And I'm not saying pad your videos or make them longer than they need to be. I'm making this point because I want to set you up for success, and I'm just going to tell you the real numbers instead of trying to validate you around the content you want to make. I'm going to tell you what's going to be successful by the numbers. You should also know that YouTube Shorts, which can help you get a lot of views and it can help you grow your subscribers really fast, as much as people love that, it does not help you get the 4,000 hours of watch time, because YouTube does not count that toward your watch time requirements for monetization. The watch time you get from YouTube Shorts does not count toward your monetization goal. So now that we know the math, and now we know we have to approach this strategically, and we know that we have to make content formats that can be a little bit longer if possible to be able to get that average view duration of 3 minutes so that we can qualify to get those 4,000 hours of watch time across 100,000 views, since that's what's gonna hopefully give us those 1,000 subscribers we need. We need to move on to making that content quality so that we can get a higher average view duration and a higher watch time percentage. Now, a lot of people confuse quality and value, and I will get to value for step number 5 down the road here. But when it comes to value, value is about what we click on and why we click on it, okay? So that has more to do with things like topics and titles and our expectations. Quality, however, is the experience we have once we decide to watch something. And the quality and the experience that we have is dictated by things like the visual aesthetic, the sharpness, the focus of the video, the lighting, the audio and sound design, the editing and pacing, storytelling aspects of it, and of course, on-camera performance. Both performance and production, as well as personality, end up dictating what quality is. And you've probably never heard a YouTuber actually give you a definition of quality content and make it more about how the video looks and sounds. It's also performance and it's also personality. All of these things have to work together in order to make quality content that people want to watch for longer periods of time. And so you don't always need, the fanciest camera gear in the world. You can do it with some very basic things, but you should, in my opinion, make audio more of a priority when it comes to your videos. And that actually leads us to today's sponsor, EPIDEMIC Sound. I've been using EPIDEMIC Sound for years, and one of the reasons is because I just don't want to worry about copyright strikes on my channel, which is one of the things that can keep you from getting monetized on YouTube. Even if you get 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers, you still have to end up being free of copyright strikes and issues on your channel. And with EPIDEMIC Sound, I can go ahead and have great music for my video content, but I can also have sound effects that allow me to enhance things like overlays, fly-ins, and pop-ups and graphics that I put up to just draw people a little bit more in and give some more context to the video. These types of pattern interrupts can help make sure that your video is flowing properly and that it just makes the video feel like you put much more effort into it, and viewers tend to appreciate that. EPIDEMIC Sound has an extensive library of music across various different genres, and like I said, I've been using them for years and I'm very happy with the results. A lot of you even ask where I get my music, and I always link to it in the description. It's EPIDEMIC Sound. One of the other things I appreciate is that I can download the stems from the music, and if I want to just take the instrumental of a track with no vocals, I absolutely can, and then I can edit that into my video exactly the way that I want. I also love that they're directly integrated with Adobe Premiere Pro, since that's my video editing software of choice, but you can use this with any software that you happen to favor, whether it be Final Cut Pro, Filmora, or even iMovie. For a lot of viewers, the audio experience is sometimes more important than the video production and how fancy the color grading is. If you can't listen to a video, you can't really watch it. So EPIDEMIC Sound makes that a lot easier and affordable. Thanks again to EPIDEMIC Sound for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you're checking them out. Link is in the description down below. Speaking of editing, let's talk about editing for higher levels of watch time and average view duration. When it comes to your editing and your pacing, things like good sound design, things like B-roll and cutaways and motion graphics can just help a viewer stay engaged with the content longer, especially when you're changing up things like the background music and those audio cues to represent things like a shift in tone or a shift in a scene. This can be especially helpful if you're doing commentary style videos or talking head or tips videos or DIYs. All of those are formats where there are long takes on camera, so breaking it up with B-roll as well as sound design is really important to just keep people interested and invested in the content. It's also important that you eliminate anything that is just unnecessary or distracting from the video in order to keep people watching longer. This could be anything from your ums and ahs to long pauses, or even to mistakes, as well as just anything that you think is not for the value of the viewer. Step number 5 is going to be to get more views to help lead to more watch time and engagement in the first place. Easier said than done though. The way we're going to do this is I'm just going to introduce you into a very good framework for it. The same way we set up a system for you at the beginning, we're going to set up a system for you now. There are 3 things you need to focus on when it comes to getting more views on YouTube. We talked about quality, but quality is that experience we have, especially in the first 30 to 60 seconds of a video. So what about value? Value comes down to topic, title, and thumbnail. Could also be timing, number 4, okay? The 4 T's ultimately dictate viewership on a video. Your subscriber count does not, hate to break it to you. It comes down to, are we, the casual viewer, interested in a topic? Have you communicated that topic well with the title? And did you get our attention with the thumbnail so that we can see that for ourselves? And you also have to remember that sometimes there is an element of timing that makes a topic more relevant or a title have a different context. Those things determine us clicking on a video and then giving you 10 to 30 seconds to get and keep our attention. And finally, tip number 6. This ties back to why we're not making random videos. Make videos that are evergreen and have replay value if possible. I know some of you want to do topical things, news, commentary, and trends, but you could miss the timing on those because the odds are if you're watching this, you're not a full-time YouTuber with unlimited time and energy or resources to be able to jump on things right away and knock out a video. You're just not there. You may not have the experience as an editor to turn around a video very quickly. You might still be spending hours upon hours upon hours of what little free time you have, especially if you work a 9-to-5 job or you go to school or you have a family. If you're essentially a working class creator, you can't really keep up. But the good news is that if you're doing content that will be as relevant as it is today, 6 months from now or a year from now, especially in your monetization window, then that actually can keep getting you views, keep stacking watch time, and keep stacking subscribers. And if it's focused instead of random on a specific area or niche or set of topics, then there's a chance that viewers will become repeat viewers of your overall library of content over time. You have more options for people to discover you, and you can just compound and stack your views. This is not going to be as sexy as going viral, but it is a long-term strategy. And that incrementalism probably has the best track record of all time of actually working. It's not sexy, but it gets the job done. So by having a focused content strategy and also building into the videos replay value, something that might be worth watching more than once, then you can actually get more watch time than somebody who's making a video that's a one and done, or that there's no follow-up to or no reason to subscribe and keep watching more content like that. So just remember, one-off random videos, even if they explode, may not have any longevity and value that, gets you to your goal. It's more reasonable to make evergreen content that's going to last throughout at least 6 months to a year and still be relevant and useful or entertaining and worth watching. It's also worthwhile to make follow-up videos that people can flow through, but make sure they can come in at any point and still get value out of them. It doesn't need to be dependent on them watching the previous videos. It's that they could get more value by doing so. It's about adding value, as my friend Nick Nimmin would say. And there you go, 6 simple steps for getting 4,000 hours of watch time on YouTube. I've told you exactly what you need to do in order to get monetized and to take one of your first steps toward being a full-time content creator. Question of the day, what was the most helpful tip you got from this video? Let me know in the comment section. I'll reply to as many of you as possible. Thanks again to EPIDEMIC Sound for sponsoring today's video. If you enjoyed this video, then you might want to check out this video on how to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to link to that in the description down below. Also, you might want to check out my playlist for YouTubers who are under 1,000 subscribers. I hope you get some value out of it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.